Hey everybody, National Intern Day is coming up at the end of this month. And to celebrate that, in addition to highlighting some of the excellent interns we've had over the years, we're going to have this video turned over to the hands of our very capable digital marketing intern, Cedar Hittle. Now, in the past, many interns who've worked at this company have gone on to great careers here, including myself. And we wanted to see an example of some of the stuff that Cedar has picked up over the years and give him a chance to show us all of his capabilities as both a director, an editor, and basically an aspiring YouTube filmmaker. So Cedar, tell us a little bit about what we're going to see in this video.
So this video is basically an overview of this project that I'm doing as part of my internship, where I'm interviewing HRP staff who are in the same career field as I am, just to see what kind of insights they have for me in that regard. So yeah, those interviews are a part of this video, and I can't wait to show them to you. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience and tell us a little bit about yourself, about your background, and what your role is here at HRP.
Sure. So my name is Lucia Washington. I'm the Director of Marketing and DEI here at HRP Associates. I'm also a principal shareholder of the company. My role here, I've been here for 10 years. My background is in marketing and business management. So that's what my degree is in, but I've been doing specifically AEC, architecture, engineering, construction, marketing for 20 years.
Awesome. Let's talk now about some of your past roles and jobs that have kind of led you to where you are now.
Sure. So I started in marketing and AEC when I was 19. So I started as a marketing assistant for a small environmental consulting firm similar to HRP. And I quickly realized after probably about a year there that I had opportunity to grow in the marketing department, but learn different parts of architecture, engineering, and construction.
Sure.
So I hopped to an architecture firm. I was a marketing coordinator there for a few years, then went into construction, was a senior marketing coordinator there, and then came to HRP where I was the marketing manager, and here we're an environmental and engineering consulting firm. So it was important to me to get that grasp and get that like full, rounded understanding of the whole industry. Yeah. And it was a great experience. So, but being here at HRP, it's been wonderful. It's a great company, so I'm very happy here.
Fantastic. How about how you ended up here at HRP and decided this was a place that you wanted to continue to grow your career?
Yeah, so actually, when I was a senior marketing coordinator in construction, I received an email from a recruiter for the position here, which was a marketing manager position, and I just was not going to apply because I wasn't a manager. And so my husband was like, no, you should. You've been doing it, long enough. You can get, you should try for it. And I did, and I got the role. And it's been so wonderful being here and being part of the growth of HRP. But yeah, it's been a very great environment to work in here. Lots of opportunity to learn more things, lots of growth opportunity for my staff. So I knew that this was the right place to stay. And I've been doing it 20 years too, so I feel like I've made my way through. So they typically say you work 5 positions and then you usually land on that 5th. This is my 5th, so I think I'm good.
You're good to go.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for me or anybody in my position who's maybe thinking that this is a good career path to go into, but is looking to sort of help that along?
Interning obviously is a really good one, and specifically if you're interested in marketing, I think interning at an architecture, engineering, or construction firm would be great because not a lot of people know about this industry. They don't, you don't learn about it in school. Like not a lot of people talk about it. But it's such a niche for people to do marketing, very creative marketing that you typically don't go to school for. You don't know that the role exists, but also just learning when you're interning, even though you're a marketer, learning what the company actually offers, understanding the services that, whether if it's an architecture firm or a mechanical engineering firm, it helps you become a better marketer, helps you sell the company better, and then it helps you develop better content. And even if it's not an AEC firm, learn what the company does and understand what it does and be able to have your own elevator pitch on the services that the company offers.
That's fantastic advice.
And there's never a dull moment, so it's exciting, and I think that's what's kept me going.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Alicia.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So we're here with Tom Simmons. Tom, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience?
I am Tom Simmons, content creator here at HRP Associates. Been here for about 6 years now. and I've been in this position as the content creator, the videographer, podcaster, photographer for the company for about 2 years now, probably going on 3.
I want to talk a little bit about some of your past roles that have sort of led you to where you are now in your current role at HRP.
Mm-hmm.
Give us a little bit of background on that.
I come from a background of being a writer. I worked a lot of odd jobs, service industry, cooking, worked in a warehouse, all these different things that I bounced around to. I ended up transitioning from that into teaching, which I kind of decided I didn't really want to go through, wasn't a good fit for me. And at the time I was interning at HRP while I was getting my master's degree in education, and it was a really good fit for me as a company. I was able to get a position in the marketing department. And in the same way, kind of transitioned from an admin assistant into a videographer, photographer by kind of leveraging my own interest in that stuff as a hobby into a full-time position here by figuring out how we could use that to add value to what we do in the marketing department, what HRP does as a company.
So landing here at HRP, how did you decide that this would be a company you'd like to move forward with to sort of help you develop this career path?
It was really about the culture here, the flexibility of working here, the work-life balance that you can get here, but also the camaraderie, the friendship, the feeling of being really welcomed here as an employee and being treated right by the people here.
I'd like to get some advice from you for me or people who may be in this similar role to where I am, where they've found this career path, but they're not sure how to help develop that. What would you say to those people?
Through your life, you develop all kinds of skill sets that you may not even realize are incredibly helpful for what you do. I spent a long time as a musician when I was a kid as a hobby and stuff, and it really embedded a sense of timing and rhythm and cadence, and that is essential to the editing process that I find in the video. So my advice to people would be to do not discount all of these other skills that you have, or think that because you don't have a background or an education in the specific thing that you might want to pursue, that doesn't mean that you can't go for it.
Tom, what are you most passionate about in this particular career path?
Just constantly improving. There's always a better way to do the videos here. They can always look a little better, be a little tighter. There's always something to improve on it. And I really like that you can look at the backlog of videos that we have and see that continuous improvement on them. And I think that's just going to keep going as we move forward.
Well, thank you so much for talking with me.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.
Great. Well, have you introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, a little bit about your background and what your role is at HRP.
I'm Everett Anderson. I am the creative manager at HRP. My background in terms of education is in marketing, and then I've kind of worked my way into more creative side of marketing, so design, social media, anything that's really in that realm is where my expertise lies. So
let's go in now talk about a little bit about your past jobs, roles, and sort of how you got to where you are now. What did that journey look like for you?
So when I graduated college, the job market wasn't spectacular.
Right.
So I applied to a lot of different places. Probably applied to over 100 jobs.
Wow.
In a few months. It was
That's
a lot.
Wild.
Had some interviews. Those didn't work out. And then I decided to apply for an internship that was with a architecture firm, because although it wasn't, a full-time job, it was my foot in the door to kind of prove myself. But I did a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. I got my hands in a lot of different areas. After that internship ended, my boss at that firm actually knew Lucia, my current boss. And they were looking for a marketing assistant, and I applied for that and ended up getting that job at HRP. And then after a few years at HRP doing RFPs, proposals, I decided I wanted to kind of, I guess, not necessarily start, but I guess it kind of was starting. The different social media channels. I noticed kind of a gap in that part of our marketing, that there was just nothing. That kind of melded into my new role, which is where I am now.
You're definitely right. I've seen a lot of growth just in my time here, even though there was a lot already set up before I had arrived. You guys had a good base, and you had a lot of stuff already achieved when I got here, and I'm glad to keep seeing it grow. It's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Have you got any advice for me or somebody in my position who maybe is looking at this career path, not just in marketing, but also in the media production side of things, but isn't sure really how to approach that? Have you got any advice for those people?
Continuous, education and learning, and that doesn't even have to be in the classroom, right? Like watching YouTube videos. I know Tom does it a lot, where he basically teaches himself on YouTube. There's a lot of areas that you can better your skills for free. You got all these different things you could do. Even if all of them aren't like your favorite thing to do, it's still good to have those skills. Having worn all those different hats at one point in time, you don't necessarily, lose those skills.
That's great advice. I'm gonna have to try and follow that each day, because I've got a lot of sort of things I'm working on, growth-wise, but that's gonna help me a lot, I think. Well, thank you, Everett, for this interview, and thank you for the information that you provided. I'm definitely gonna have to follow some of your wisdom that you've provided.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
All right, Cedar, so thanks so much for those interviews. Great stuff. Really appreciate the work you've been doing here. Can you tell us a little bit about kind of what you learned through this internship process, and really specifically some of the stuff that you picked up through your conversations with the folks we just heard from?
Yeah, definitely, Tom. It was a really good privilege to be able to interview these people, including yourself. I think I took a lot away, but one of the biggest things was it seems like the opportunities are going to present themselves, but it's up to you to sort of take advantage of them. The right job will find you if you continue to look for it, and it just takes time.
Yeah. What did you think of the different trajectories that the people you talked to came to this position on? What did you make of that?
It seemed like they had a general idea of what they wanted to do, but it took them a while to sort of fall into that niche. It took them a while to find the proper role.
Yeah.
And once they did, it was pretty obvious. But once again, it just takes hard work.
Yeah.
Knowing exactly what you're good at and what your challenges are, what your strengths and what your weaknesses are is really important.
Definitely. How would you say your impressions of what it is and what we do here have changed from when we started to now?
At the beginning, I wasn't sure exactly how I would fit in, how I'd be able to help you. And now that I've had the chance to sort of get involved in a bunch of projects, it's clear that not only have I been able to grow my own skills, but I feel like I've been able to sort of impart some of my own wisdom even, and help out here. And it's great to be a part of it, really.
Yeah. It's definitely been a learning experience for me, getting to have your perspective and your ideas as well. And I think that's what makes the internship programs so great here. So folks out there, remember, appreciate your interns out there, and keep an eye on our social media feeds for more about the great interns here that work at HRP. And if you're interested in a career here at HRP, visit our website and see what offerings we have, and maybe there's an internship program that's right for you. Cedar, thanks for everything.
Thank you, Tom, for
You're doing a fantastic job.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad.
And it's been great talking to you today.
You too.
All right. Thanks, everybody. See you in the next video. And if you like this, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell down below. Actually, no, you do this part. You know this.
Yeah, do I?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
What is it exactly?
Like. Yeah.
Subscribe.
Yep.
Comment below.
And one more thing.
Hit the bell for notifications.
There you go. See? The program's working, folks. All right, we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Goodbye.